We are going to talk about the stealing of Kosovo from the Serbs by the Western powers right here on the Savage Nation. 1-800-449-8255. Let us go to the callers. Again, I invite you to call at 1-800-449-8255. Tom in Florida, go ahead, please. What's on your mind?
I'm talking about Kosovo, of course. You have no idea what's going on in Kosovo and the whole Balkan Peninsula.
I have no idea, but you do. So tell America what's going on, since you're the one who knows more than I do.
Oh, you come in from
me. You see, you've just shown that you're a Nazi in your heart. So it was your father who cut the eyes out of Serbs and Jews, is that right?
You like to think your own way, right?
Ah, shut up, you Nazi bastard. You shouldn't even be in my country. How you got in here is a disgrace, you vermin, you. It's people like you who have ruined America. Don't tell me I don't know something because I'm not there. See, it's people like you who want to bring the hatred of the old country to this country with your dirty lies. All you people know how to do is twist and lie.
You consider yourself...
Ah, shut...
We are creating, with U.S. money and U.S. blood, a crescent of growing Islamic influence from Bosnia to Turkey. Kosovo is 90% Islam. In next door, Albania is 70, going up to 85 in the next few years. The Saudis, QAE, and other Arab countries have poured millions and millions of dollars into building certainly mosques and Islamic schools so that we're finding some Osama bin Laden type of teaching there. So you basically have a chaotic situation, you have high unemployment, and you have this terrible teaching. Now, all that's going to do
real quickly, just as you're speaking, we're getting news from our producer at the scene that the Belgrade government might have in fact provided free transportation.
Ah, shut up, Cavuto. You ought to hide under a rock, you worm, you. You little worm, you. What, they whisper in your ear to cut off the colonel who was telling the truth about the stealing of Kosovo from the Serbs? Shame on all of you at Fox News. 18% of your company is owned by a Saudi, and you won't tell the truth about what's going on over there? Shame on all of you. San Bernardino, Ryan, you're on the Savage Nation.
Hi, how you doing, Michael? Are you there?
Make your point, please.
Well, the Serbs were actually trying to protect the people in Kosovo, the Serbian people in Kosovo, when the Muslims were shooting the police officers out there.
Correct. That's how it started. The war in the Balkans that Bill Clinton used for a couple of reasons, one of which was to get Lewinsky off the headlines, with the help of William Cohen, war criminal, with the help of General who? Do you remember the General war criminal? You remember the war criminal Secretary of State Albright, the war criminal? You remember Jamie Rubin, the war criminal? These are all war criminals, all of them, disguising and masquerading as diplomats. You remember General Wesley Clark? He was the war criminal in chief who orchestrated the bombing of innocent civilian Serbs.
That's absolutely right. And it's a shame that it's gotten this far, and we should not.
It's not a shame. It's not a shame. It shows you the level of propaganda in the world press. It shows you the level of propaganda that you're living through right now. How in the world can they run a story about Serbian people going out and saying you're not going to steal Kosovo from us, it's been part of our country for 700 years, and distort it to such an extent that they won't even tell the people how long Kosovo has been part of Serbia? It's not been an appendage. It's not been a province. It's been part of Serbia since the 1300s. Have you ever seen one picture of one Orthodox Christian church burnt to the ground in Kosovo since the wonderful United Nations was sent in there to protect the churches? There have been over 300 churches burnt to the ground. Has one picture ever surfaced in the United States of America, the so-called freest nation on earth? I haven't seen one picture. No. Not in the American media, but the pictures exist, by the way, if you want to search the internet. You'll see churches burnt to the ground in Kosovo, all under the protection of the United Nations. 1-800-449-8255. So we have that topic. We have the McCain smear. Look, we're living through yellow journalism and propaganda. I know that. This is one of the worst periods in American history for yellow journalism. I got to be honest with you. But what in the world are we doing there? What did we have in self-interest to bomb the Serbs in 1998? We had no self-interest in it. There were a few greedy oil companies that had great self-interest, as far as I can tell, to steal Kosovo, separated from Serbia, in order to run an oil pipeline from the Caspian Sea into southern Europe. That's what it looked like to me as to why Clinton and joined forces with the criminals at NATO to bomb the Serbs and get them out of Kosovo. Any idea what he's triggering here? This could be World War III. He knows nothing about the history of the Balkans and the incendiary nature of the people. He thinks he's just going to steal it and the people are going to say thank you. He thinks they're all watching Oprah Winfrey over there and they're on Prozac and they're going to watch the Oscars like the schmucks in America.
No, Mike, we just created a mafia state. There's no economically viable thing. It's going to be a gigantic welfare hole where we're just going to give money, and the minute and the EU is going to have the real power, the Kosovo Albanians aren't going to have any real say-so.
Do you remember during the war crime of bombing the Serbian people, what the American media was calling the Kosovars? They were calling them. They were calling Albanians ethnic Albanians in order to signal to the people that they were the victim. Do you remember that? They used the word ethnic in order to make the people in America think that they were the victim. I mean, I remember this propaganda campaign, Ted, from the beginning. The problem is we have a Dumbo running America, or he's craftier than we think, and he's in on the thievery because the oil companies own him so deeply. That they want Kosovo separated from Serbia so they can build their long dreamed of pipeline right through Kosovo into southern Europe and deny the Serbian nation a dime in royalties for having transmitted the oil. That's what it's all about. Always follow the money, Ted. And answers become very obvious once you see the actions of nations when it relates to natural resources or some other territorial imperative. I would like those of you who are interested in this to do a Google search on the Skanderberg division of the SS. Hitler's murderers who conducted wholesale campaigns of ethnic cleansing and genocide in Kosovo, killing Serbs in the Kosovo meant they were brutally driven out and expelled in a policy of ethnic cleansing and genocide. They killed Jews as well and Gypsies.